girls. Tell them none can contest, we don't.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Another Real Talk Tuesday. I appreciate everybody for showing up and coming through. And we're going to talk about a couple things. One of them is about maybe toxic masculinity, how men defending women, or was what Will Smith did really defending his family and his wife, or was it something about himself that he was defending and that everybody he feels has made himself look bad because of the entanglement situation and other things, and he took all that frustration out on Chris Rock? What if it was The Rock that made that joke? Would Will Smith have smacked The Rock? What if it was a female comedian that made that joke, Amy Schumer? Would Will Smith have smacked her and said what he said? I don't know. Those are good questions, and we'll talk about that as well as some of the reactions that people had after what happened with Chris Rock and Will Smith incident. Before we get started, let me give a shout out to Nisha Hummingbird, first in the building. I appreciate you for coming through, as well as everybody else. Big Ron, Barika, what's up? Rashonda, hey, what's up? Desiree, Derry, what's up? J Cam, the man, the slap looks staged as Fork. And a lot of people say that. I don't know, but I do have a couple of things that I will talk about in regards to why I don't think it was staged, but I do think it was very beneficial. Lannister, you say this was definitely about the humiliation regarding the entanglement. I think so too. What's up, Phil? What up, Jimmy? I think that a couple of the other people that have done something to Will Smith and mocked him in regards to this entanglement issue, and them calling him a cuck and all this other stuff, and then him having to go to the red table and talk, and she's saying all this stuff, and she's looking like the stronger individual in that relationship. It made him, in his mind, and maybe in the minds of a lot of others, made him look weak, made it look like his wife runs over him and other things. And also, Laverne Cox said something to him, and he couldn't smack Laverne Cox because they would have canceled him for sure. So I think Chris Rock was the target. And keep in mind, although Chris Rock has made jokes about Jada in the past, they have been friends for over 20 years. And there's numerous pictures of them together, all in all types of events. Chris Rock is now 57 years old, which I got to give it to him. He looked damn good at 57 years old. Chris Rock almost 60 years old. Wow. I can't believe Pookie almost 60 years old. And Will Smith is 53. So these guys are too old for this. Now, one of the things that makes me think that, although I don't think it was staged and that it was very beneficial, is that Chris Rock's comedy tour has got a major boost in ticket sales after this slap. Which I think is Very coincidental, to say the least. But one of the things that made me even more skeptical is that the prices went up. It says Chris Rock comedy tour saw an increase in ticket sales after he was slapped by Will Smith over that joke. And it says that a lot of viewers felt moved to purchase tickets to his ongoing comedy tour, and that TickPick, a ticket selling service, reported Monday a surge in ticket sales for his show. We sold more tickets to see Chris Rock overnight than we did in the past month combined. They sold more tickets in 1 month, in one night, than they did in the whole month. Now, again, I still do not think it was staged, but I do think it was beneficial. Now, I think a lot of people probably felt that was the perfect opportunity to see what he's going to say in regards to the incident, which I'm not going to lie, I want to see his comedy show even more now, but his tickets are very expensive. And I'm not going to be able to pay that kind of money. It says his prices increased, which his prices already were high. It says, and this is without the fees, which the fees add almost double the ticket price, nearly double the ticket price. Screenshots from StubHub showed a jump in prices for Rock's show in Boston this Friday, increased from $338 a ticket at 11 a.m. to $450 by noon. By 1 p.m., they were sold out. And fees add about another $400. So you're looking at $850 for a ticket. So that was very expensive tickets. And so, it's not staged. I still don't believe, because that was one hell of a smack. Look at Chris Rock's face. He did take a hell of a smack. Now, some people think he hit him in the shoulder. Some people don't think he actually smacked him. All of that stuff. You all let me know what you think in the comments. Did he really get smacked, or was it staged? If you think it was real, put a 1R. If you think it was real. If you think it was fake, put a 2F. Nicole B, what's up, Nikki? You say good for him. He might as well make some money. I guess that's kind of a good point. He did take a big ass smack. Phil Sampy says she has emasculated him over and over again, just like Robin Givens did Mike Tyson. That's true. And Will Smith really is in a position where he cannot divorce her, because Will Smith has a net worth of $350 million. Although their children are now both over 18, they've been married over 20 years, and she would be entitled to half of that money, and I'm sure he don't want to give up $125 million or 50 or 70 million or whatever. So he pretty much stuck with him, and that's why they were at the time, according to them, split and living in separate residences when she did have the entanglement. So, Big Ron said in that entanglement, him nor Jada were the victims. It was their kids that were friends with August. Will and Jada are truly messy. That's true. August Alsina was actually Jaden Smith's friend, and then he screwed his mama. which August is dirty too. How you gonna screw your friend's mama? I wonder how much of a friend he really was, or did you be his friend just so you can get into the vicinity of his parents? So I don't know. Derry said, wow, he's for sure going to add a bit about the smack. He did say a joke later at an after party saying, I got hit by Muhammad Ali and didn't have a scratch. So, you know, of course, Will Smith played Muhammad Ali in the 2001 movie. I love me some Chris, but Jay, HBO will probably show the show. Yeah, it will. But, and that's why I wouldn't go. But the thing is, they always edit things. So I'm sure they would keep that joke maybe. But when you go to see a live performance, it's a lot different than the video performance because it's unedited. Now, to see a comedian at a big concert hall, it's probably not the best venue because it's only one little person on stage and you don't get a good view of them depending on your seats and all that other stuff. So I definitely wouldn't pay for that. But if I could be in a small, that's why most comedy clubs are smaller venues. Most comedy clubs are small little spots so that everybody can see them and get a good view of that comedian. So I wouldn't probably go and see that and do that. Robin Hammerman said financially beneficial, but neither really needed the money. Neither respect more. You got to see that. You're right. I do see that. Chris Rock and Will Smith are both rich, although Will Smith got way more money than Chris Rock. Chris Rock isn't broke. And, I mean, he was already charging $350 a ticket. So, I mean, that already wasn't cheap. So, you know, he definitely was doing all right. You know, so, that right there, and I got a couple of clips. One of them is from Jim Carrey, and Jim Carrey made a great point. And I'm going to tell you what Jim Carrey said. And so, yeah, respect is something that you really can't put a price on when you're an A-list celebrity. And they both are A-listers. And Nikki, those are the regular prices. Those aren't even the scalpers. Il Wood said, Will won the Oscar. Chris got the sales. Do you see the writing on the wall? Well, Will already won the Oscar before they gave it to him. I mean, it wasn't as if they do it live at the spur of the moment. They already had decided who was going to win before that. Now, Chris raising the prices after the fact is different. We got Nikki with the 1R, Desiree. Crafty think it's fake. Derry with the 1R, Karen, Jimmy. Barika think it's fake. Il Woods think it's real. What is the 1T, man? I ain't say a 1T. What you putting that there for? What's that mean? 1R is real. 1R. J Cam the man on Facebook. What's up, brother? You say they're actors. It looked like he knew it was coming. It don't look like it connected, and Chris' reaction was too subtle. Chris Rock showed amazing restraint. I will say that. But because he did, he looked like the bigger man. Truth of the matter is, if Will Smith didn't smack him, that joke would have been forgotten. But now that joke will live on forever. And it actually made matters worse for Jada, because if he didn't smack him, then people would have been like, whatever, and then the show would have went on, and it wouldn't have been remembered like that. But by him smacking him like that, and everything that's happened since, it made matters worse, and the joke will go on forever, which was a bad look. It was worse than the actual joke. So I don't know. Larry Jones, what up, Jay? I don't know if it was real or not. I saw something saying Chris Rock had a leather face mask on that blended in with his face. Man, that dude ain't had no damn leather face mask. What in the world? Man, this Trump fake news is really gone out of control, man. This dude did not have a leather face mask on. You can look right here in this picture at his face. You can see right here, it's no leather face mask. Does anybody see a leather face mask on his face? Karen, this is exactly what Jim Carrey said, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you all what he said. Phil Sampy, they're saying together to say the bag, it's all about aesthetics. Okay. Stephen Lewis, that makes August a motherforker. You ain't lying. That's a good joke right there. He's a bad mother. Shut your mouth. Nikki B, Jada heard those rumors about that damn eggplant. Yeah, I heard, right? She said, I got to see for myself. Let me get entangled up in this thing. You know. Karen, that's a great point, too. Whose mama is going to screw their son's best friend? Wow. That's an excellent point. Jada is a mess. A mess for doing that. That's true. And how does her son look at her now? Their whole family is a mess. She didn't even take into account that's her son's friend. And that's just a mess. Larry said, if I was Chris Rock, I would have followed up by saying, damn, I'm going to feel that slap till August. Woo! You may need to start writing for Chris Rock, Larry. You on a roll. Big Ron, hell, MJ divorced Juanita. She got paid $168 million. Will, are you willing to pay for your freedom? Yeah, but Jordan is going to make more. He's worth more than Will Smith, too. Michael Jordan is a billionaire. So $168 million is not the same to him as it is to Will. You know. August, Alcina said Will gave his permission for he and Jada to hang out. It's been rumors that the Smiths do whatever as long as they don't keep things from each other. That's true, but Alcina actually made it public, which then Will had to say he didn't do that. And because then it puts their business out in the streets, which they didn't need to do. And we'll see what you know, that's probably what made them even more upset. Alcina shouldn't have did that. Derry, it's not like she would pass if offered the G.I. Jane 2 role. Y'all, Kendall say, all I see is teeth. Y'all don't see the leather face mask? Leather face mask. All right. That's funny. A leather face mask. Man, people come up with the damnedest things on social media. Really, they do. Because I don't understand that. A leather face mask, that was hilarious. But anyway, Jim Carrey, and I see some of you all say that Jim Carrey need to shut up. What are you all mad about with Jim Carrey? Why he need to shut up? I'm just interested in why you say that. Because I think he made a good point. Now, I'm not saying I rock with Jim Carrey like that, but I think he had a good point. So he said that the Oscars crowd was spineless for giving Will Smith a standing ovation after the slap. Which is kind of true, because now they all trying to speak out against him. And everybody, Denzel, Tyler Perry, all these people went to Will Smith to comfort him. But nobody went to Chris Rock. Jim Carrey didn't say that part. I'm saying this part. Why did everybody go to comfort Will Smith? Why did anyone not go to Chris Rock? Do you think they should have went to Chris Rock as well? Chris Rock, like, damn, he smacked the hell out of me, and they want to comfort him. I'm the one that got smacked. They should be telling me it's all right. Now, Jim Carrey said I was sickened by the standing ovation, and he said this is why he was on CBS Morning with Gayle King promoting Sonic 2. And King did make a point to note that Carey's appearance on the show was booked well in advance of the incident. He said, I felt like Hollywood is just spineless en masse, and it just really felt like, oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore. And Jim Carrey says Smith should have been escorted out of the venue for his action. How many of you all think that they should have escorted Will Smith out of the venue? Put a 1E if he should have been escorted out. Put a 2E if you think he should have been able to stay like he did. It's sad that Gayle King probed Carey on Rock's decision not to press charges against the Ali star for the literal slap in the face. And from Carey's point of view, Rock simply doesn't want the hassle that comes with filing a police report along with the subsequent media barrage. But Carey added that had he been in Rock's position, an expensive lawsuit would have been swift. I'd have announced this morning that I was suing Will for $200 million because that video was going to be there forever. That's a good point. It's going to be ubiquitous, you know. That insult is going to last a very long time. If you want to yell from the audience and disapprove or show a disapproval or say something on Twitter or whatever, you do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face because they said words. Okay. Gayle King said that the moment had escalated, which Carey firmly pushed back on, explaining it didn't escalate. It came out of nowhere because Will has something going on inside of him that's frustrated, and I wish him the best. I really do. So, what do you all think? I don't think it escalated because it came out of nowhere. Had he had yelled at Chris Rock and said, keep my wife's name out your mouth, and then Chris Rock did another joke, then that's different. Because it would have escalated. But he came and smacked him without even giving him, without even any reason. That was a punk move. He shouldn't have came up and smacked him. And what make it worse, Will Smith laughed. He laughed about the joke at first, and when he saw Jada was pissed, he had to save face and go up there and smack him. And then after he won the Academy Award, he's sitting up there crying so that he could look like he's the vulnerable one. And he sat there talking about he's a defender of his family like Richard Williams, which Richard Williams came out and said he don't support violence unless it's in self-defense. So don't put my name on your mess. You was acting in a movie. This is real, fool. So, I don't know. Ashley Gambrell said, you say we don't know that could have happened backstage. Well, what it is they say so far that they haven't talked in person yet. But they got each other's phone number. I mean, he could have called them. So, Nikki, you say, first of all, where has Jim Carrey been in it? And this is none of his business. He need to keep his concerns with his people. That's why I'm saying that. Talking about somebody needs to go to jail. All right. Let's see. Get a couple other. The Oscars are to blame for the writing. No Limit Warrior. Okay. So we'll see. Kelly, you got the 1E. Kelly, I sent you the link. Desiree, 1E. Okay. Ashley, 1. Mark McWilliam, 1E. To the 5th stage. Come on, Jay. You know this. I don't know, man. I think that if it was staged, it's not getting the benefit of what they were looking for. It made Will Smith look bad. Why would he stage something that makes him look bad? If this was staged, how did this benefit Will Smith? Let me know in the comments. If this was staged, how is this beneficial to Will Smith? I mean, we could see maybe Chris Rock got benefited by the prices of his tour going up. But you think Will Smith is going to make himself look bad so Chris Rock can make some money? Chris Rock ain't broke. Karen said escort him out with the police. Meg Allen. They should have escorted Jim Carrey out of the MTV Movie Awards when he sexually assaulted Alicia Silverstone. See how this works? Wow. I didn't know Jim Carrey did that. So, yeah. You say Jim Carrey has some nerve. He has mental issues. Nikki. Larry Jones, 1E. Okay. Phil Samper, he should have been arrested. All right. Mark said that was a bitch-ass move on Will's part. Hey, how many of you all think that was a bitch move that Will did? Put a 1B if you think that was a bitch move, and put a 2B if you think it wasn't. Let's see. Big Ron, Chris Rock should have been like DC Young Fly. We know what happened when somebody jumped on stage with him. He beat the hell out of him, right? All right. Derry saying, no way he is going to lose so much credibility and respect. Good or bad publicity, that's what they say. Nikki B. I don't know. I don't think this was this is gonna hurt Will Smith way more than it would have benefited his career. It may be a lot of people that may not want to see his movies anymore, especially in the way of cancel culture today. I'm not going to say I don't want to see a Will Smith movie, but when I do see a Will Smith movie, I will be thinking about the slap, either before or after the movie. Or if I see him trying to be a tough guy in the movie, I'm going to be thinking, man, your ass over here got soft on the entanglement. Now you up here trying to save the world from aliens again. Get your ass out of here. All right, I got my girl Kelly in the building. What's up, Kelly? How you doing?
Hey, Jay. How are you? I was having technical difficulties.
It's all good. It's all good. Glad to have you. What's up? What you think about what happened with Rock and Will Smith?
You know, I don't like it at all. There's no way that a grown man is going to put his hand on another man and there be no repercussions. That just doesn't make any sense to me, Jay. He opened his hand and slapped this man across his face and no repercussions. He should have been escorted out. It should have. I don't understand it. So maybe it's fixed, because how you gonna take a slap as a grown man and just it be done?
Right. And Chris Rock, man, he showed a lot of restraint, because he ain't block it or nothing. He had both hands behind his back. Wow.
It was horrible.
Right. Mark got a great point. If Dave Chappelle told the same joke, Will wouldn't have done shit. What do you think?
Absolutely. They know who to mess with, right?
Right.
Chris Rock is from Brooklyn. I get that, but he ain't hood. So Will knew who to slap, because you couldn't have just slapped anybody like that. There's just no way. And I was saying this yesterday in Discord. Chris Rock has to retaliate on some form, because he ain't gonna have no peace with no female after this. It's like, oh, you raising your voice at me? Like,
right.
You ain't do that to Will Smith when he slapped you on stage. So how you gonna say something to me now? Keep the same energy. Right?
Right.
It's gonna go down like that from now on. I just don't get it. You can't scream at nobody. You can't act up, because all he's gonna hear is, well, how come you ain't do that to Will?
Right. That's a good point. Yeah. And like, one thing I agree with Jim Carrey, that's gonna live on for a long time, man. A long
Absolutely.
time. You think he should have sued Jim Carrey? How many of you all, not Jim Carrey, Will Smith, how many of you all think he should sue Will Smith? Put a 1S if he should sue him, and put a 2S if he should just leave it alone. What do you think? You think he should sue him?
I think that something needs to happen. So whether it's via him suing Will, I don't know, the Academy, because he got assaulted on their platform, I have no clue. But something needs to be done. And that's going to be, like, to me, that's what I'm looking for. If nothing is done, then it's staged, because he emasculated another black man. Like, that's just, you gonna cock your hand back and slap me across the face? And you're right, Jay. He laughed at first. So it was like, oh, you got the side eye? Like, there's just no way. August disrespected him. He disrespected his marriage, right? Jada continuously throws these little jabs at her round table and nothing. But this got you hot? This got you hot and sweaty enough to go up in a public forum and slap another grown man in his face? Something to me has to be done.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that was something right there. Who
you gonna just slap like that? That is so disturbing. Like, you just can't come and slap me across my face like that and then just be like, oh, well,
Mm-hmm.
Chris Rock is a comedian. Could you imagine if it was D.L. Hughley? They just cut on people. They cut on people hard all the time. Right? I mean, this is many, many years ago. I went to a comedy show at Nell's in the city, and Rob Stapleton was the comedian. and there was a paraplegic guy in there, and he roasted him. Everybody at first was like, gasp, clutch at your pearls, until the guy started laughing, and then, it went away. But he cut on him the same way. That's just what comedians do. Like you were saying, Jay, had he not done that, this would have gone over and it wouldn't have had all that backlash on it. You know what I mean?
Right. Definitely. To Desiree's point, the Academy is doing an investigation. They were investigating on maybe taking his Academy Award away. But that's like March Madness or college when they say they're going to take a team wins away 10 years later, or take their championship away 10 years later. Everybody know they won the damn championship. So it was too late. Now, had they have reacted in real time, I got the hiccups now, but had they reacted in real time and escorted him out and never gave him the award and then changed and gave it to somebody else, then we would have never known he won. And then that would have been different.
Right.
So
right.
I don't know.
So I'm a big advocate on pre-existing rules. You can't make up no new rules now because the situation got too hot and sweaty. So if there's something in play and that's a pre-existing rule, then yes, I could see it apply. But you ain't going to change something today. Do I agree with Will Smith? No. However, in the Academy, the Oscar committee or whatever, it has to be pre-existing. I mean, this was already established. If you perform acts of violence in the midst of our programming, these are the consequences. Then, of course, but I'm not for making up new rules in real time.
Right. That's true. Now, I'm going to play this video of what may surprise a lot of people, and they made a good point. Will Smith did make his career in the beginning on Fresh Prince in fat shaming Uncle Phil and short shaming Carlton. But on the Arsenio Hall show, I'm going to let you all see this clip and you tell me what you think. After this clip, I'm going to put the link in the description, so if anybody want to come up and talk about this, you can come on up and talk about it. All right. Okay. Here's this clip. You all tell me what you think about this. This is on the Arsenio Hall show, and this is what Will Smith said.
Like, he has a rule. The bass player, he got a rule. He got to wax his head every morning. That's a rule. He follows the rules, man. He follows the rules. Oh, he's a joke. Come on. See, you got too into the characters and got hurt.
So he just made a joke because that bass player in the Arsenio Hall band had alopecia. He just made a joke about him waxing his head and being bald. And he said, but these are jokes. And then when it happened to him, he was ready to snap off. Let's hear it again.
Like, he has a rule. The bass player, he got a rule. He got to wax his head every morning. That's a rule. He follows the rules, man. He follows the rules. Oh, he's a joke. Come on. See, you got too into the characters and got hurt.
All right, so what you think about that?
I'm definitely not for holding people to what they said all those eons of years ago. You know what I mean? And stuff, to me, sometimes it affects you differently if you're not having to deal with the situation. And now he has his wife saying that she's suffering from this condition. It's going to hit a little bit closer to home. But that's what comedians do. They cut on you. And it's been like that since the beginning of time. And it's going to continue to be like that because that's their job. So the fact that he wilded out on that's ridiculous. And I agree. Yes, the internet remains undefeated.
Right. Right. Like
you go all the way back to find that it never forgets, right?
Damn right. And I look at it like this, like, you didn't have a problem with jokes when you were the one telling them. But when it's on you, Now you ready to go and retaliate. Like, had that bass player got up and smacked you or yelled, keep my head out your mouth or whatever, then you would have been like, the audience kind of did a little ooh, ah, and he like, oh, these are jokes. So it was
exactly.
But then Chris Rock joke, which wasn't even that deep like that, and it was alopecia, because I also have another clip of Jada talking about her alopecia, and she says she's proud and that they're gonna be friends and she don't care. So as soon as he made that joke, all of that pride and caring and not caring went out the window.
Mm-hmm.
So which one is it then?
Jada's fortunate as well, right? Because I have seen some people with alopecia, and they got the Kojak head, the shiny one, like the guy in the video, right?
Right.
So Jada still has a significant amount of hair growth, right? So she's not even suffering with the intensity as a lot of other people. Alopecia takes off your eyebrows, your eyelashes.
Well,
right?
What she said is that she only had a couple spots missing. And she decided instead of covering it up that she would shave it all off. So that's a conscious choice that she did. She didn't have to do that.
Absolutely not.
So,
but she still has a significant amount of hair growth that these people out here that they don't have, like that guy in the video, nothing. So, it's unacceptable. Unless it's a prank, it's unacceptable. You can't go just slap no grown man in his face like that and think it's going to be okay, Jay.
Right. I agree. Yeah. So, Derry said he was showing off for Jada. What do you think on that one?
He should have showed off on August then.
Right. Definitely.
Because that was ultimately disrespectful. Even if they had their little thing going on, if a man come out there and he put it out that he's doing this with your wife, he should have had that energy for August.
Right.
And I'm not promoting violence, Jay, but if the shoe fits.
Right. He probably said, keep my wife's name out your mouth then. That would have been perfect.
Exactly. And this happening, then we would have known there's a chain of events that gets under his skin. Right? But you don't say anything before. Even Jada, she had like a round table. I'm trying to remember the actress she had it with, and she was saying that, your husband is supposed to know you after all these years, know where your likes are, your dislikes. She was talking about it like a sexual topic.
Right.
And then try to clean it up after. He didn't say nothing then either. She was emasculating him in public.
Right.
So, this just doesn't make any sense. And you can't slap a grown man in his face and it just be it, Jay. That's the part I'm just sticking on.
Right. Now, let me ask you this, because some people say that men need to defend they women, or some people say that women would Jada had defended Will had the shoe been reversed. Or would she have yelled saying, don't be talking about my man or whatever. And some people say Will was a simp. And some people say he not a simp because that was his wife. He may be wrong, but he wasn't a simp because it is his wife. Mm-hmm. What do you think about those things right there?
Well, first, in agreement to what you were saying earlier, if he had yelled out, keep my wife's name out your mouth prior, then maybe we could have understood the buildup, right?
Right.
But I think that was sufficient at that point. And then excuse yourself, right? And if you can meet him up after behind the stage and tump up whichever you want to at that point, then that's cool. But to put your hand on somebody else, a grown man, that's an absolute no-no. But yeah, I think that he could have yelled. He yelled out that way eventually anyway. So he could have just done that. And maybe at that point, like you said, it would have been justifiable because then we would have seen a buildup, right? But that's just no. And in regards to Jada, I'm not sure. Maybe the old Jada would have said something, but she's been allowing him to be emasculated on a public forum for so long that now, do I think she would have done anything? No. If you got this guy building around and you ain't checking him, he opening his mouth, he disrespecting your husband, and you don't check him and make him stop, then you don't have no respect for him.
Right. Did she ever like defend him when the entanglement was going on and everybody was making jokes about him? Did she ever? I don't remember it.
Not that I heard of, you know. Right. They were justifying why XYZ happened. We were on a break. She could have done what she wanted to do, XYZ. But okay, granted, right? This man came out and put your business out to OJ. How he didn't have no energy for him. Right. And he knows what comedians do. It's not like if he didn't know. But today I was hearing that Jada and Chris, they have some sort of unsettled beef or something going on with one another. So it was like, he can't say anything about me.
Okay. I've heard a little of that, but, I still think, that he picked, him for a couple of reasons, but...
They could have suckered him on the stage.
Right,
and it wasn't going no further. Because, a real one would have dealt with it differently.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I think also he did that in that public place and setting because he knew to a certain extent that nothing would happen to him there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So had he had did some other stuff, maybe not. And this is a good point. And this is a good point that everybody forgets, is that Regina Hall made a joke about Jada and Will, that same show, and he laughed. But when Chris Rock made the G.I. Jane joke, that was just devastating.
And Jay, have you seen the movie G.I. Jane? Did you ever look at it?
Yeah, I've seen that. It's from 90s.
And even in regards to G.I. Jane, right? If it was a joke, remember she cut her hair off to have equality amongst men.
Right.
So even the comparison would have been it just doesn't connect to me. I could imagine if he said some lawless joke, but it didn't even. Listen, he could have yelled out on that stage like he did, keep his wife's name out of your mouth, but he didn't have to resort to violence, right, especially in a public forum. Don't you? Okay, so let me ask you this, right? You see now they have like relationship issues and stuff. One of the rules is don't act up outside. We're going to deal with this when we behind closed doors or strategize or whatever, but don't act up.
Right.
And I believe that, yes, you're supposed to defend your woman, right? You're supposed to defend your wife. However, there's tact. There's ways in which to do things. So he ain't no better than that dude running up or the girl running up to somebody's job, acting up in their workplace.
Right. I guess
it wouldn't be right then, right?
No, it wouldn't be right. You're right. That's a good point. Savannah said, did he laugh at Laverne Cox jokes? I just know Laverne Cox said some stuff to him, and I think they said he was upset, but Laverne Cox said that they wasn't going to apologize. So, I don't know. We'll see. I got another guest in here. My girl Barika, how you doing?
Hi, Barika.
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. What do you think about this whole incident and what happened?
Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I hear you.
I kind of have a mixture of what everybody else was thinking. I don't blame him for defending her, but I really think it was more so ego-driven. But ultimately, I think it was fake.
Oh, okay. Why you think it was fake?
The Oscars have had years of poor ratings. They needed the help. Chris Rock doing his tour. The sales were minimal. Now the sales kept going up. So it kind of was a better interest for both of them to actually stage it.
But how was it good interest?
Told some of the producers so that it was a shot to them, so it could kind of play off well. I'm kind of thinking of it like in the terms of the whole Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake, Nipplegate type of situation.
Right.
So with Will Smith, even though like he would get some backlash from Hollywood, I don't think he would be canceled. So why not get him some street cred in the process?
Okay, so that's how it benefited him, is that he no longer is looked at as a punk.
Right.
Okay, I didn't think about it like that. You all let me know what y'all think. That's a good point. And if that is the case, did it work? I didn't think about it like that.
I mean, we've seen the views. There's far more women there behind Will and saying he did what he was supposed to do. And I want my man to be like Will. I want my man to fight for me and defend me and protect Black women. So I don't know. I mean, I guess it just depends on which area you're looking at it from. But Will didn't come out with nothing. He still got his Oscar, and then he did get the credit versus him being clown for the last 3 years. So I don't know.
All right, what do you think? Would you want your man to do what he did, or do you think he did too much?
I'm from Detroit, so he might not have to defend me. I might do it first.
That's funny. Yeah. Do you think there should be a lawsuit or anything? Maybe.
No. I think the men should handle it amongst themselves. I heard earlier that Will did issue an apology, so I'm hoping that he does have like a personal conversation with Chris Rock, like outside of like the media and social media and all that, and just really talk to him just man to man and kind of just hash it out. But yeah, I don't think anybody should get sued. I think that's just kind of extra.
Okay, let me ask both of you all this. Do you think written apology is good, or should he have put a video out on Instagram apologizing, or it doesn't matter? Kelly, let me hear what you think.
If his thing is that he is defending his wife, why apologize? Because if he thought about that being his reaction, then why apologize if your stance is that you protected your wife? And I want to just add a note to what you were saying before. As an example, this is a horrible example in regards to how men are supposed to defend women, because not everybody's Will Smith. If my guy goes and defends me like that, he's going to jail. Man. Or there's going to be a bigger problem in the street. Everybody's not on Will Smith's level to say he can evade the repercussions just like that. So if you do that to my guy, it's going to be a problem. And then my guy got to go to jail for handling the business, fighting every day to prove his love.
Right. That's a good point. And maybe guys may see this and think maybe that's what they need to do, maybe subconsciously, and it may not end too good for them in the future. So that's interesting. What you think, Barika? What do you think about that?
I agree with Kelly. Like if you know what you did and you deliberately did it, like why apologize? Really, just kind of stand on how you felt. If that's what you felt, that's what you felt. Just roll with it. But yeah, we do have to tread lightly. Like she said, like this isn't Hollywood. We live in everyday life. And so there's people out here that have nothing to lose. So if you come at them sideways, whether you snuff them with a punch, hit them with a slap, whatever, it might be some consequences that may follow behind it. So you really got to think about things like thoroughly before you do it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because, it seemed Will Smith was able to get his have his cake and eat it too. He got the Oscar. He didn't go to jail or escorted out. He not getting sued. Chris Rock damn sure ain't gonna shoot him. So I mean, he looked like a hero for real from one of his movies. And what you said about why apologize, that he didn't apologize when he won the Academy Award. He apologized to everybody but Chris. And then after the backlash, then he wrote a written apology, which his publicist probably wrote that or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Phil Sampy said everyone saw the pics that August posted on IG in his underwear. Will Smith saw them too. Oh, snap. I appreciate the super chat, man. So, ladies, what do you all think? Do you think Will probably maybe didn't want to do nothing to August because he is probably, half his age, give or take? Or, I mean, he thought, I don't know, maybe he thought he might have lost. What do you think, Barika? What's up with Will Smith and that? And Juan Marley said Detroit 313 East Side.
I think the situation with August is a little bit different. Like, we aren't privy to the everyday lives, right? So we don't know what happened, like, off camera. I mean, he definitely could have had a conversation with him. We just might not know about it. And at the same time, I don't care what they say. It was some level of agreement between him and Jada as far as them having these relationships. Because if you really follow Will Smith, you saw over the years that he had this chick he was dealing with named Heidi. So it's like, I ain't really gonna get mad at the side dude for doing the side dude's job. I guess the issue was more so him blowing up the spot. Like, he played it smooth. Like, Will Smith's side chick had played it smooth, and none of us would know about it. But then at the same time, maybe Will didn't want to come at him aggressively because August Alsina is a loose cannon. Right. Like, he already made a song about Jada. He was always posting her on her birthday and talking about he loved her and all this and that. And, the whole situation came to light because of August Alsina's recklessness. So would you really want to blast somebody like that even more and have him really spill all your tea? Or do you just kind of tread lightly and just have, like, a couple words with him off camera?
That's a good point. Kelly, what you think? Why Will didn't come at August like that? Or do you think he may have just kept it low-key behind the scenes or whatever?
Well, keep the same energy. That's all I could think of. Is why didn't you say something? He could have said something because this guy was publicly, to me, humiliating him, emasculating him. You know what I mean? And you have nothing. You got radio silence. But in this particular instance, you go from basically 0 to 10. You put your hands on somebody. It's just such a big disconnect that I don't get it. So I will tend to lean on what Barika was saying at first, that it was staged, because I just can't fill in that dash in between 0 and 10. It doesn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
If he had screamed it out to him alone and then didn't get physical, then maybe I could have said that. But you went and you slapped somebody in their face after you had nothing to say about this guy. Because, yes, everybody knows that this is your open relationship status and such, right? However, it's different when the person comes out. Like, you confessing on dying love, you carrying on, and then there's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that dash in between doesn't connect to anything for me. And I just find it really strange.
Do you think she took advantage of Alsina? And what do you think about the kids? Would you ever date one of your kids, your son's friends?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That would be disgusting to me. Absolutely not. I don't even know how that happened. And it was so funny that, because I don't really follow Will nor Jada. So I didn't know up until tonight that was her son's friend.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Like, what? Like, what? Like, my son come over, he bring his friends, and when his friends want to say something to me, I'm like, boy, go home to your mother.
Right. They got introduced because he was always with Jaden Smith. And so that's how they even met. And then he was supposedly going through some type of hard time in life. I don't follow him like that, but when this story first came out is when I heard about it. And she was trying to supposedly mentor him. And then that's how it got into the entanglement.
Abuse.
Now, I don't know how old he is, but I know he's at least 25, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's older than their kid.
Okay, so he's older than that. Okay.
Yeah, that's unacceptable. I'm not messing around with one of my son's friends. I'm sorry. I'm just not messing around with one of my son's friends. That's you.
All right, Miss Crafty say y'all are giving Jada way too much power. LOL. So I mean, what do you mean by that?
Yes, I was gonna ask that too. What do you mean, Miss Crafty?
Yeah.
Jada got the power because she gave that man a look like deal with it. And he moved immediately. Okay, so Jada got the power, whether we like it or not. He was laughing, and she did.
That's true.
Deal with it.
She got some kind of power because August Alsina over here risking it all for her online.
Right.
Making songs. And she get Will to wink and a nod and eat. So.
Yeah.
She might need to put that on Red Table Talk.
I know, right? That might have been one benefit too for them is that her Red Table Talk. Everybody about to start listening to that now. A lot more people, at least, you know. Yeah, definitely. So,
and I read a note today that said that he declined every other media outlet, and he's only going to discuss it on her Table Talk.
Oh, wow!
The schematics.
Oh, wow! I didn't know that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So it does make it look staged even more now when you say that. I don't think it is still, but it does not look good. I would say it's about 70-30, but who knows? Maybe they trying to spin it to their advantage. But it's not a good look that they're going to capitalize off of that. Definitely.
You know what would be a good twist, though, on Red Table Talk if they brought August Alsina out?
Oh, right.
Like him and Will at the same table, because when she and Will had the issue before Red Table Talk, August Alsina wasn't there. So if they actually got all three of them like fitted together, yeah.
Yeah, that would.
I'd like to see what that happens.
Everybody would tune into that one.
Mm-hmm.
No, they would break the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would actually watch that one, and I haven't watched any of them. I did see clips of when he was on the time afterwards, though. I didn't watch the whole episode, but I did watch clips of that. That's the only one I ever watched. It's more of a ladies' show, though, than something guys.
Can I ask you a question, Jay?
What's up?
Here's my thing, right? You're at the award show, one of the big boys in award shows, and you're nominated for representing this strong black man, right?
Richard Williams, yeah.
Richard Williams, right? And this is how you behave. Even if we were in a smaller forum, like a layman forum, say for example, I'm throwing this out to Barika, you're getting a huge award for the nurse of the year, right? And they're saying something, and then your people come up and slapping down other people. What you gonna say?
Right. Yeah. Do you all think that tarnished Richard Williams' name and legacy, what he did? Because he did try to say he was looking like the crazy father, like Richard Williams, and he's a fierce defender of his family, like Richard Williams, this and that. Do you think that made Richard Williams, he tried to make it, like, take the blame, put it on Richard Williams, make him look bad, or what?
But Barika, did you see, I think he put out a statement that he would not have handled it that way.
He did put out a statement saying that.
I did think the statement. I don't think that Will Smith was putting it on him per se, but I do think he may have kind of been caught up in the character still and thinking like, oh man, I really have to defend my family. I mean, even when you read Will Smith's book and he talks about like things that he experienced as a kid and how he didn't defend his mother and how like that bothered him so much that when like his father got older, he had major thoughts of like, you know, committing some acts of violence against him in defense of his mother. So it's a definite possibility that all of that and a mixture of the whole him getting crowned for all this outside situation and everything else. I think all of it coming together, like if this is a real situation, could have been emotions behind the outburst that we saw.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, this was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or he's unraveling in front of us all. And this is just the beginning.
I mean, that could be a point because, I mean, for most of Will Smith's career, he's been praised. And now, recently, at an older age, he's probably feeling vulnerable being in his 50s. And now everybody is getting all on him for what happened with Jada and Alcina. He's probably not used to it and don't know how to handle it. And we see what's happening. Savannah said, did Will have a meltdown? I think it's been like a slow meltdown. And you know, like Kelly said, that's the straw that broke the wheel's back. Because, you know, this definitely wasn't just about this one joke. And then they try to say, well, they had a beef ongoing for this and that. Not necessarily, but it's definitely seems that he's having a difficult time dealing with all of the criticism that he's been facing. And he took it out on Chris Rock, and he knew that was the person that he could do it to and get away with it in all, you know, ways. Because like Mark said, if he wouldn't have did that to Dave Chappelle, or Corey Holcomb,
or even D.L. Hughley, because you know D.L. Hughley, he cuts on everybody. Right.
He wouldn't have did that to D.L. Hughley. You're right. Or Bernie Mac, God rest his soul. So he did that to Chris Rock, and it made Chris Rock really look bad. But then because he did it to him, but then it made Chris Rock look good in the restraint that he had and not trying to escalate it or fight back or any of that other stuff. So every time I see this picture now, I think somebody said he wearing a leather face mask. Like, the hell? Some conspiracy theories is out of whack. But, you know. Anyway, Richard Williams said that he don't support violence and unless it's in self-defense.
Right.
So, you know, and he's 80 years old now. So we'll see. NJ say he wouldn't have did it to his brother Tony Rock either. I don't think he would have either. Tony Rock a little different than Chris.
He a different type of person.
Yeah, definitely.
And then, you know, they were talking about, oh, Will Smith is from Philly. Chris Rock is from Brooklyn. Like, he from Bed-Stuy. Like, come on. Like, I mean, I know he not, you know, he wasn't the guy out in the streets and stuff like that, but he from Bed-Stuy too. That's gonna hurt.
Right. And you from New York. Tell the people what part of New York you from.
I'm in Brooklyn. I'm right up the block from Bed-Stuy. There's just no way that you're going to collect a slap like that and it be over.
Right.
So if it's over, then I'm jumping on Barika's bandwagon that it is staged. Because here's what happened. You think you're going to slap me in my face and then say, oh, Kelly, let's have a talk over some drinks and all will be well. After I collected the slap, now I got to slap you back first and then let's talk.
Right. Maybe Tony Rock will have some words with Will and smack his ass back when he see him next time. I don't know. That's a good point, Tony. Man, you smacked the hell out of my brother. Pow.
My brother, exactly. Right. There's just no way. There's no way you're going to open your hand and slap me across my face and let's talk it out. Nope.
Right. Jimmy, you said Brooklyn in the house.
That's right.
NJ said I'm in Manhattan. Okay.
Hello, neighbor.
We got a lot of New Yorkers in here. We got almost 100 people in the building watching right now. I appreciate everybody for coming through.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, definitely. Now, Amy J said Will would beat DL, Tony Rock, and Dave ass. Will is in better shape than all of them. I don't know. He was kind of fat in his last thing he was doing on YouTube, talking about he was trying to lose weight and get in shape. Look at the Will Smith YouTube channel where he was talking about he was trying to get in the best shape of his life and then he gave up, talking about it was too hard. So, I don't know. Somebody said, where is it? Somebody, okay. Bap said, maybe it's deeper to us than it is to Chris Rock. What up, Bap? What's up, Barika? What you think about that? You think it's deeper to us than it is to Chris Rock?
Yes and no. If it's staged, then yeah, it's deeper to us than it is to him. No, Ricky, right? He just gonna let it ride away so it can benefit him however it needs to. But if it was a real situation and he's from Brooklyn, I would expect it to be some type of backlash, even if it's behind the scenes.
Okay. Kelly, what do you think about that? Is it deeper to us or is it deeper to Rock?
Well, I agree with Rika 100%. If it's staged, then of course it's going to be deeper to us. But if it's not, he ain't going to just take that slap like that. It doesn't make sense. Now, do I believe that they playing with different dollar amounts than us? Their repercussions are different than us. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So Chris Rock has to be careful at this point because he didn't defend himself in real time. So, he has to move different. Maybe he's moving where the money is. I'm not sure, but he didn't act in self-defense. So anything after this, if it has to be physical, will be premeditated. So I guess he has to play according to the money now. And there's no way I'm going to collect a slap and it not be serious or important to me.
Right.
I'm going to hold it together and I'm going to grind my teeth and I'm going to sleep and wake up with my jaw tight. Like, why didn't I hit him back? Or, you know what I mean?
Block or something. I like how you say collect a slap. Like, let me get them slaps. Let me collect these slaps. Collect the slap. He's just a slap collector. He got slaps from all over in his little collection. Some people have been saying that they are worried about comedians now, and people may come on stage and try to be the next Will Smith and smack comedians for things they say. Do you think that this is something that comedians should be worried about? Kelly, what do you think about that?
Yes, I do think so. Because now he's set the stage. That you're not allowed to cut on people. Before, you just got cut on, you felt a little bad, you get embarrassed, you chuckled for a little bit, and then it kept on moving, right? But now, it's like you set the tone that you just can't cut on me no more. So, I can see the wrong person taking it the wrong way because people are saying that now. So, now we know we could defend our loved ones physically.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Barika, what you think about that?
Well, I would hope that people in the audience hecklers wouldn't try to come on stage, because if you have somebody like DC Youngfly, you're going to get all that smoke.
Yeah, he kicked the hell out of somebody, so yeah, definitely. Well, I've been in some shows, like Aries Spears is one of them that he got heckled twice. One, it was over a Peyton Manning joke, and they was like mad he joked about Peyton Manning, which, you know, was real corny that they did that. And then there was another one where it was in the front row, which, man, that's something that happens at comedy shows. In the front row, comedians are going to get you. You right there in front of them. Yeah, and it was a black guy with a white woman, and he was talking about sex, and he said, don't y'all role play? You ain't never played runaway slave and the master's wife? And and dude was getting heated, and he yelled at him like, man, that ain't funny, you know what I'm saying, this and that. And he was like, damn, man, you look like you want to come up here and kick my ass and this and that. He's like, man, I'm just joking. And then dude was saying it again and things. And I think normally when people do that, like what Will Smith did secondly, comedians will stop, because he did stop and move on. He did come back to him a little later, but like, man, you still mad? But he didn't like go back into the jokes. So I think Will did maybe inspire negatively some people to think they can do it and get away with it, but they will get escorted to jail. Unlike Will Smith, I think. So they better not try to pull that, because definitely that would happen. Savannah say, I'm fat. I wouldn't sit in the front, be the butt of fat jokes.
I sit in the front. I love comedy shows. I love comedy shows a lot, and I will sit in the front and I'll take getting cut on for whatever the case may be. I've done it in the past. So they try to find something. Even if they can't get to you, they're gonna get to your date. But that's just the nature of it. And then sometimes there are people who get hostile, like, yeah, I'm gonna wait for this comedian outside.
I know somebody just went to a Country Wayne concert a week ago. Larry Jones say, I got roasted in the front row of a Country Wayne concert. He told me to swap phones with my girl if I'm faithful. LOL. Yeah. Some people, I just think you have to be secure in yourself, whatever it may be, especially if you're dealing with a comedy show and you're sitting in the front row, because it's all about having a good time and laugh. If you can't laugh at yourself, how could you laugh at other people and jokes about other people? Now, if you are the type that only like to laugh at other people and other jokes, then don't sit in the front row, because that's just how it is. If I, like in my comedy show, I make fun of my shortcomings and disability or something. If somebody was to do that, I'd laugh, or if they was funny. If it wasn't funny, I wouldn't laugh, because I want to laugh too, so make it funny. Now, if I was more sensitive, maybe when it first happened, I wouldn't laugh because it was fresh and new.
Right.
You know, so, but I wouldn't go to a comedy show then. So, you know, I think everybody should be secure in that. Like Jada came out with a video saying she's going to be friends with alopecia and that they going to get along and this, that, and the other. So if that's the case, why were you upset? Just don't laugh at the joke.
You should understand that, right? That it's a joke.
Right. So, I don't know.
But if they have, if they have beef, then she's not going to take nothing he says funny.
Right. I think that beef is a little blown out of proportion, though. But if it is what it is, that's fine. I mean, that was 2016, so that was what, 7 years ago.
That was a while ago. Okay.
6 years ago. So people say that, and it may be true. I don't know. But then she come out talking about this is the season for healing. What? Healing Chris Rock face? I don't understand what she talking about. So,
Exactly.
yeah, definitely. So, I don't know. I appreciate y'all for coming through. Definitely. I really enjoyed talking with you guys. I think this is a good topic. And what would you all say to any guys that think they would need to defend a woman like that? Like, I think if she had got assaulted or was about to be, or he was in her face, maybe that was different. But in that situation, I don't think he needed to do that. He could have yelled from his seat like he did secondly. Barika, what would you say to any man out there that's thinking about what ways he should defend his woman and what he should or shouldn't do? What would your thoughts be on that?
I would say assess the situation first. Don't be triggered by ego or emotion, but respond according to whatever the situation is. If it merits a conversation, handle it with a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nikki said, fight. Nikki, you messy. All right, Kelly, what's up? What do you think about that? What would be some words of wisdom and your thoughts on how a man should or shouldn't defend his woman in situations like this or other situations?
I definitely will agree with Barika again, because they have to assess the situation. Once again, our men out here are susceptible to jail as a consequence, and we don't want that. Like, a woman doesn't want her man defending her honor, and then he has to be incarcerated because of it. Like, that's not going to happen, or harmed because of it. She wants to go home with her man. But out here in the streets, you go wild out on somebody, you're going to have some serious real-time consequences to deal with. So unless you're looking to accept that jail time is on the line or you possibly getting hurt, you need to assess the situation. Because I don't think any woman wants her man to defend her honor to the point where he's removed from the home.
That's a good point. Good point. Now she trying to get him out of jail and bail money and
right.
pawn and
I
jewelry.
agree with Cam. Jada should have held his hand, but she wanted it. She said it. She set him on Chris. Mm-hmm. Because that's something that I would have done too. Like, no. It's okay. But she gave him that get him eye.
Right. And then she didn't even call him back. Like, as he started walking, she wasn't like, Will. She just watched him walk up there and just smack him. Didn't try to grab his hand. Didn't try to get up out of her seat. Didn't yell. Didn't do nothing.
She said it. She set Will on Chris. She set it on him.
Yeah. You agree with that too, Barika? Yeah. That he set up. That she set him on.
She did. Like, she could have helped to de-escalate the situation, or at least kind of have his back once he came back down. Like, okay, it's cool, But I did see the head nod. And that head nod was like, okay, we gonna go today. It was the type of look on her face.
She wanted that smoke, Jay.
Definitely. So, yep, I think that was kind of messed up, man. Yeah, it may be beneficial. They spending it to make some money and ratings, but I don't know if it got the best results for Will overall. But then again, maybe people think he ain't no punk no more. I don't know. So we'll see. That's a good point. So who knows? They may be thinking twice before they make another joke to his face about.
I would put a times 2 on the fact that he's a punk right now. Times 2. It's not taking it off for me. No.
It was a punk move, but they may get smacked by the punk, and they may not want to get smacked. So, you know what I mean? That's what I mean by that. It was a punk move to what he did to Chris Rock, of all people. But like the next person, although I think a Laverne Cox could get away with it because he'd have got canceled for sure if he'd have smacked Laverne Cox.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. But any guy, maybe he might be able to get away with it. But if he smacked a regular guy, oh, they definitely suing Will Smith. I would. I mean, shoot, that's millions. That's like a lottery ticket you just gave me. Straight up. I'm cashing that ticket. So, anyway.
Is that reporter sue him? The one that Will Smith had smacked when he tried to kiss him on the mouth?
No, they didn't.
That?
Yeah, I remember.
Reporter tried to kiss him on the mouth?
Yeah, and Will smacked him, yeah. But he didn't smack as hard as he smacked Chris Rock. But they didn't try to sue him. In a way, you can't just walk up kissing people, though.
Right. So he was aggravated at that point.
Right. Definitely. So we'll definitely see what happens. Do you all think this will die down? How long you think this will die down before we get up out of here? How long do you think it'll take for this situation to go away? Barika, how long you think?
I hope sooner than later. Just for the simple fact that, like, to me, when stuff like this happens, it's like, what's the ulterior motive here? Like, what's being hidden? Like, what do you want to deter the public's attention away from? So y'all can go and kind of sneak something in, especially with the whole Ukraine versus Russia situation, like, or what type of bills are y'all passing that y'all don't want people to know about so that the public's attention is diverted onto the wrong thing. So this isn't the first time somebody's gone fisticuffs at an award show where nobody is talking about what happened with Tommy Lee and Kid Rock. That blew over, but then you try to make it seem like these men who, engaged in this situation at the Oscars are savages. Yeah, right. Sometimes the media would love to perpetuate its own narrative for its own purpose. You have to really kind of seek what the deeper meaning of the things are. That's really going on behind the scenes.
Right.
Okay. How long you think, Kelly, is going to last? Weeks, months, years?
Hopefully it lasts yesterday. Not want to be bothered with Will and his foolery. Okay. But maybe, I don't know. I agree with Mariko yet again, because if they need this to be the smoke and mirrors, they're going to run with it. You know what I mean? Even if whether it was planned or it's something that they're just going to use to their advantage. So hopefully something else comes up and we don't have to deal with this anymore, because the speculation is so big. We could create this big snowball, never-ending snowball. So I just hope it's finished yesterday, because we don't need to be addressing this because Chris Rock did not slap him back.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Good points. All right. Well, I appreciate you all for coming up. Like I said, great talking with you guys. I'm interested to see what people put in the comments in regards to what happened with this and what you think about it, and how long you think it may last. And I look forward to seeing everybody next Tuesday, where we can talk about some more, real talk, real situations and things, relationships and all of that. So this was actually good about the relationships, because this kind of covered a few different aspects, with the cheating, with the entanglement, and the defending your woman and all of that stuff. So it was interesting, and they got two ladies here give their opinions. So I appreciate you ladies for showing up, looking all nice, and I appreciate it. I know ladies don't be wanting to come on and all the time, so I appreciate you ladies for coming on, and hope to have you again, and definitely. And I'll see everybody next week, next Tuesday at 10. And we'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow night for Snowfall tomorrow at 11 for the first reaction. And everybody else, take care. And I'll see y'all tomorrow night. Barika, thanks for coming. And Kelly, all right. See y'all later. And good night, everybody else. All right. Peace.
It's J Moore, the very best reviews. Tell them none can contest, we gon'